They have been judged, they have been stereotyped, they have been marginalized, and they have been made to feel like they don't belong. These are intersex people. They didn't choose to be this way. They were born this way. On today's episode, we've captured the story of two people who shared their story of the challenges they've experienced growing up as intersex. One, for obvious reasons, requested that we conceal their identity as it's something they're still struggling with. My name is Susan Grace. Let's get to it. Now, this is an interview I've been looking forward to do because I feel like there's a lot I need to learn about the intersex community. There's a lot of sanitization that we need to do because we have stereotyped them and marginalized them. And I really request that you listen to this interview with an open mind. And I hope that by the end of it all, you'll have picked a thing or two on how we can be good people when it comes to the intersex community and how we can best show them some love. Now, I'm going to give my guest an opportunity to introduce himself. Andy in the building. Thank you so much for coming to my podcast.
Thank you.
Kwa mtu ambaye anakuona kwa mara ya kwanza, who's Andy?
Oh, Andy. Andy is an intersex person. So my name is Andy Maxwell. I'm an intersex person. Oh, I was raised as a girl. And here I am today.
Let's talk about that, being raised as a girl. And I think we had talked earlier and you told me for 21 years, you lived as a girl.
Yes.
Walk me through it, starting Uko, Utotoni.
Yeah, so Andy is an intersex person who was born in Western. And my mother gave birth to me while she was very young. She was in Form 3, a very young mom. And you know, in the society, what people believe, when you give birth, people expect a girl or a boy.
Right.
Now, she gave birth to an intersex child, a child who had ambiguous genitals. And it was tricky for her because she gave birth at a midwife. Naitwanga midwife.
Wakunga wale.
Yes, mkunga. And then the lady didn't know more about this. And she told her, I don't understand this child. So she had to tell also my dad, because Joshua go now, he was waiting. Kujua wamepata mtoto msichana ama kijana. And akaambiwa umepata huyu mtoto atuelewi ako aje juu tunaona it was a bit large clitoris, and the dad was okay. I don't like calling him dad. So he was mad and told mom to choose. Unataka huyu mtoto ama mimi? And yes, and then you know, in kuna zile regions people know, kuna places watu wanajua an intersex child person is a curse. So akasema anataka, it's either we kill this child or tuachane. So mom chose to pick. She chose the child, and so akanilea. And that time I had issues kwenda haja ndogo, and she had to go back to the midwife and kuuliza kama anaweza saidia mtoto. And that time the lady akamsaidia kukata the clitoris. But
ule mkunga
yes, ule mkunga. Akifikiria inaweza saidia at least with the opening ile inaweza kojoa. And then akapata it's hard, it's internal. So ikabidi nipelekwe Kenyatta hospital. Ikabidi akanipeleka hospitali Kakamega. Then she was referred to Kenyatta hospital. Then that time I don't remember the name of the doctor because nakumbuka I had the card Jose too. And mom explain what is going on, nikapimo, and then they had to create a vaginal opening where at least ningeza enda haja ndogo. And then that was it. I grew up now as a girl. Yeah, wakaniita Mercy. So growing up, and I understand nowadays, I grew up with a lot of anger towards my parents who raised me, because growing up I faced a lot of challenges. Ile time okay.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. Take your time.
Okay. Okay, can we continue?
You can, yeah.
So, growing up, really, I grew up in Korogocho. Mama aliamua kuishi Nairobi, and Korogocho, is a slum. So that time I was growing up as a girl, nilikuwa na base. I remember nikienda shule, because nilikuwa naenda shule Korogocho primary. And I was such a jovial child. I remember, and nowadays we laugh about it when we talk as intersex persons, when we talk about the challenges we faced while growing up. Because I remember the headmaster, kuna ile vile alisema, sauti ya wasichana inakuanga nyororo, inaweza toa
Nyoka pangoni.
And I told my friends home, and I don't know why they laughed. Walikuwa wanacheka, tena wananiambia nirudie, and mimi sikuwa najua kuna issue nilikuwa narudia. Yeah. So hiyo time, na pia sikukuwa na a lot of friends. I had very few, because watu wakukuwa wananipenda. Like ata neighbors. And then my parents used to beat me. They used to. So ile time nikipigwa sana natoroka home, nakaa nje, nakaa kwa streets for a while, then narudi tena kidogo, niko kwa streets. So during that time, nikafika class 4 hapo, yes, class 4. Nilikuwa bado nalala nje, and I remember I was once raped in Korogocho. That the first thing, yes. I was once raped, and that experience affected me a lot mentally. And during that time, singeambia anyone. I was alone.
Not even your mom?
Yes, not even my mom, because I was alone that time.
Oh yeah, because you're in the streets.
Yes, I was in the street. Hiyo time nikirepiwa, nilikuwa nimelala nje kwa kibanda. So naona hizi vibanda za mama mboga. So akifunga nilikuwa nimelala hapo chini. That time I was raped. Didn't talk about it. Sikupata hata healthcare that I needed. Yeah, juu hata sikuwa najua mtu akisharepiwa anafaa kuenda hospitali. Yes, report. Iliisha hivyo, kanyamazia. Then life continued. Nikarudi home kidogo, then continued kuenda shule. Then tukahama Korogocho, then we moved to Kariobangi. Then during that time, sasa in a new space, and zile vitu zilikuwa zina happen bado, zina happen, kuchapwa, outside, homeless, then tena home. Bado nilikuwa naenda shule. Yeah. So your time nikafika class 5. Yeah, nilifika class 5, and then now na pia shule nilikuwa na face a lot of discrimination. Juu hiyo niko na base, I look different.
So unakaa msichana but sauti inakuwa kama mwanaume.
Yeah. Juu nilikuwa na dresses. So watu wengine walikuwa wanashindwa kwani mbona alafu sasa unakumbuka hiyo walikuwa wananiita Masima Base.
That was your nickname?
That was my nickname. And then Semenya. I didn't even know who was Semenya. So kwangu ilikuwa inakaa matusi. Yeah. And sasa during that time I used to fight pia. Jua sasa the only thing najua ni I have to protect myself.
Yourself.
Yes. So I used to fight a lot. And ikafika time sasa pia sometimes fee ilipwi, but I can admit my parents were also struggling. Si ati tulikuwa na ile life poa, we were struggling. So na pia hiyo challenge napitia shule. So you due to the challenges and also fees sometimes ilipwi, I dropped out
from school.
Yes, from school.
Even before we continue, so when you're saying in school there were people who were saying bad things, was it just your peers ama also teachers?
Also teachers, but ile tu kuuliza questions.
Okay.
Yes, ile si ati they sikuwa nime notice maybe they're judging me, but they used to ask me some questions. Yeah.
Okay, so the comments of Masi Base and Semenya, those were coming from fellow students.
Yes, fellow students. And also juu nilikuwa nikiitwa hizi majina napigana. So hizo reports zikifika kwa staff room, wanataka kujua what is going on. So I used to say wananitukana. Juu niko hivi. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But I don't remember any teacher
Insulting
treating me badly. I remember there was this madam who was very supportive. Alikuwa anashinda meni uliza how am I doing, and then nakumbuka nilikuwa na uniform imeraruka and she used to ask mbona uniform yako iko hivi. Yeah, she was a very nice person to me. Yeah, so your time ndio I dropped out of school. Yeah, so nikaanza kukua tu mtaa. And then at that time, I'm now at puberty. Yeah.
That's when everything is happening in your body.
Yes, everything is happening. And now I don't understand, because now other girls, their hormones have started to develop. And then what about me? What is going on? And then that pressure, having conversation with other girls, like, yeah, nasikia about menstrual, and for me I don't see anything.
Idea.
Yes, I have no idea like what is going on. And then funny thing, nilianza kukuwa na beards mapema sana. Yes, at 13 14 hapo. Yes, so I used to shave
a lot.
Yeah. Like after 2 days after 2 days, and I grew up shaving my beards. Yeah. So tena your time truly, yeah, we stayed in Kariobangi sana, and a lot of things happened in Kariobangi because now the way my parents were treating me led to other people now started to mistreat me. Because I remember there was a neighbor who said I stole her jerrycans. Sijui hata zimeenda wapi. Then there's a caretaker there, ananipiga kanifukuza kwa ploti nisilale hata huko, because I used to sleep in a balcony. So alafu najua sasa ni hizi balcony zenye ni mtaa, alafu sasa hizi balcony za kushare, si kama hizi zingine ati ni
kila mtu na balcony yake.
Yeah. Hii ni una share, and then kila mtu ataona I slept hapo. Yeah, so that guy used to hate me. Yeah, watu wakianza kusema I stole their things, nafukuzwa kwa kwa building,
kwa plot, yeah.
And then mom hakuna kitu anaongea. I had no one to protect me at that time. And then during that time sasa ndio naona pia miaka zinasonga, nimefika hapo 16 17. Yeah, this is a teenager.
Yeah.
Then sasa I'm hanging out with other girls. Yeah. Najua I'm a girl, and then now juu ya hiyo stigma, watu wasichana wengine wako zimeanza ku develop hormones, breasts zimeanza, yeah. And then for me
it's
nothing.
Beard,
yes.
It's the opposite ish.
Yes. Beziko, I don't understand what is going on, so I decided I have to survive. I don't know, nikaanza kununua hizi bras a sponge. I used to wear those bras
just to fit in.
Yes, just to fit in. And it was very hectic. Juu sasa hapo ndio sasa pia discrimination ilikuwa inazidi kukua sana, because now our wasichana, the ones that I was hanging out with, then unajua in ghetto kuna zile vitu saa mnaanza ku hang out, you start going to clubs, no. And then I was exposed very early juu watu wengine wakienda club I had to follow them juu haina haja nilale nje na watu wanaenda rave
mahali kuna shelter.
Yeah, so for me nitaenda huko. Yeah, and I used to party at that time, follow them where they go. And then kuna mwenye alikuanga na hao mahali, so we used to, nilikuwa naenda na crush huko sometimes. So during that time mwingine walikuwa naishi na yeye akasema I stole her boyfriend. Yes, I was
ushaanza kesi za kuiba watu wenyewe.
I know. No, mimi sijui, sijachukua mtu wako, I don't know. Kumbe they planned to do that so that wanichape wanitoe nguo. They wanted to know how I look.
My
how
goodness.
I am. Yes. And
they did it.
Yes, they did it. And I remember very well that place. I didn't know, like, because I stayed in that place for a very long time. Nimetoka huko 2023. Hapo Kariobangi. Yes. And your time, they planned that, wakanipiga mbele ya watu and wakanitoa nguo. Nikabaki uchi, kabisa uchi, even without a panty. And I remember that was a very embarrassing experience. It was traumatic because every time I see that, it triggers me. Every time naona mtu anako about to be attacked.
It's a trigger for you.
Yes. Because that day walinitoa nguo na watu walikuwa nje. Watu walijudge, unajua in the ghetto watu ni wengi. You know, so watu walikuwa hapo wengi. Hapo chini na pia kulikuwa like a balcony, watu pia wamejaa hapo. Watu wanaangalia, ako hivi. Kwani ana matiti, kwani anakaaje? Ona anakaa kama mwanaume. You see, hizo the whispers.
Yeah.
Lona, hizo zote I had all that. And then bado yo umechapwa pia. Aya, ikaisha hivyo. I ended up not getting justice. Yeah,
Did you try to report or?
I can't report. Your time for that, to me that is normal.
Oh.
Yeah, because najua hata nikienda kuripoti ya kwa kitu itafanywa. Yeah? So that is normal. That was normal that time, but now to me that is not normal.
Not normal.
Yes. And then life ikaendelea. Then it happened again. And I remember this
What happened again?
kuvuliwa nguo tena.
Jamani.
Yes, it happened again. This lady said I stole a chain ya mtoto wake. And then akanikimbiza, unaona ile, at least I'm running to, at least for my safety. Wakanitoa nguo tena. Wakanishika, and I remember walikuwa mama. Wakanipiga, wakanitoa nguo. Again. And I remember here this round nilitukanwa hadi vile mimi ni mchafu, I don't know how to shower. Yeah. And now I look different. Hata una matiti, hata unakaa mwanaume, huni mwanaume. That time nilisikia hizo maneno zote. Yeah. And it really affected me mentally. Physically, it really affected me.
Yeah, especially mentally, because it's humiliating.
Yes.
Mwanzo sasa unaekelewa kitu hujafanya. You have literally been stripped in front of people.
Yeah.
People have had those whispers of, those comments that you're saying. How bad did it get, especially in terms of your mental health?
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. Because I had a low self-esteem. I've been struggling with that till today. Yeah.
Has it gotten better over the years?
It does.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have to accept. I've accepted myself. I've accepted who I am, and I've embraced who I am now. So but one thing, ile time natembea, nikiona people are staring at me, it triggers me. What are they thinking? What are they planning?
Right.
Yeah. So unapata to an extent, hata kama na stay mahali, I can't live in that area for a very long time. I can't.
You feel like people are constantly on your case.
Yes.
That is.
What are they planning?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, and why ili develop here, you sense danger. And I overthink everything. I do overthink because ukiona tu mtu hapa nilipita jana watu wameongea.
Nilipita hapo tena.
Nikipita tena nione bado wanaongea, I'll be like,
to raise an alarm.
Yes. Have they noticed? Ama niliongea mahali about who I am. They saw. What are they planning? Yeah, now I'll be more careful because what I know, security starts with you. Your security.
Yeah.
So one, niko very careful, and mentally ilini affect kabisa, and also it made me the strong person I am today. Because no one can be harassed while I'm there.
Come on.
Yes. I've gained ile power ya kumobilize with my voice. Nitaita watu wengi sana. Until huyo mtu asaidike. Yeah.
For 21 years, you lived as a girl, as a female.
Yeah.
What happened after 21 that made you feel like...
So, in 2018, so I used to... it was it in 2017, 2018. I was, what I knew, your time nilikuwa nimefanya research how I am, and also I don't see menses. Yeah. So I used to ask myself a lot of questions. Yeah. Who I am. Why am I different? Wasichana wengine wananiambia they are getting menses. I don't. And for you to get, ukiwa unapata menses, you can get a child. And at that time I wanted a child. I used to, I used to think, yes, I'm a lady. I need to get a child. And nika notice, after nimefanya ka research, nika notice I can't have a child because I don't see my periods. And I started seeing a gynecologist at Jama Hospital. And akaniambia, I have a short vaginal. So maybe we can do a surgery, but I have to go through few tests. So that time, what I knew is, I'm a lady. I want to do a surgery. I want to be normal. And I believed that nikifanya surgery, I'll be normal. I'll be like any other lady. So that time, nime insist on that. I met someone introduced me to another intersex person. And akaniongelesha, so when we had a discussion, because that time bado nilikuwa navaa kama msichana, nikamwambia I want to do a surgery. Akaniuliza, are you sure? Mwambia, yeah, mimi najua mimi ni msichana na that is what I know. Mimi nataka kuwa normal. Yeah, I want to get married, I want to get a child. Yeah, si even the society inatuambia.
Imetulia ukimaliza shule start thinking about getting married, watoto hivyo.
Yeah. That is what I knew. I want a child. I want a married. So that time nika save. I saved few coins. And there nilikuwa nimeanza kufanya beadwork. I was hustling. Nimefikisha 4,000. So hiyo ndio ilikuwa niende nione gynecologist. At least could book the session. And then
consultation.
Yes, consultation. So that time nilikuwa niende on a Monday, then something happened on a Saturday. I had issues at home, then nikatoka tena home. Now nitafute mali naanza kunaishi, mali nasaidiwa kuishi ama I have to go back to the streets. My friend told me, no, you can't go back to the streets. yeye ndio alikuwa ameniwekea hiyo 4K. I used to trust her a lot. So alikuwa ameniwekea hiyo 4K, kaniambia unaweza pata nyumba ya 1500, anza life na 4K instead ya kuenda hiyo hosi ya hizo vitu zingine. Maybe the time will come. Yeah. And that's what I did.
That's how you started life by yourself.
Yeah, that's how I started life. Bado navakama mdem. Yeah. And that time tena tukamit na this intersex person, and then that time akani invite kwa a session yenye other intersex persons walikuwa, and during that time ilikuwa ile time ndio that is when I met Mwasia. Remember the first intersex person who was recognized in Kenya. And I heard the story, and that is when I realized, oh, kumbe watu ni wengi kama mimi. I'm not alone. And then I started to talk to other people, knowing, oh, they go through this. So I'm not alone. And then mwingine kaniambia, unataka kufanya surgery ya nini? Kama uumwi,
you're okay.
Uko sawa. Yeah, hii surgery unaweza fanya tena, it will lead to other issues. Yeah, so it's better katu hivyo. Yeah, siku utakuwa na pesa, enough resources, you can access.
Go for the surgery.
Yes.
Okay.
But first, unafaa uende therapy, and then uende, ndio sasa ujue kama you okay, you want the surgery. Yeah, but sasa after kufanya kuenda therapy, decided, no, I'm okay. I just need to live my life.
And you just need like a little bit of support around you.
Yes. And so that during that time, where I was living, bado nilikuwa naishi Kariobangi. I lived in Kariobangi. Like, yes, like hiyo time yote, bado nilikuwa huko, and bado nilikuwa navaa bra. So
the padded one.
Yes.
Spongy one.
The spongy one. And then you say I'm masculine. So sometimes tropiga hizo story, we're like, oh, okay, go buy hizo vitu.
Bado konazo.
I don't
know kama souvenir ama ulitupa.
Hiyo bra ilikuwa moja ya papo ilipotea.
Maskini pole, ukihama mama. Sorry.
Okay, that was funny. I was going to buy something mahali uko Imara. Juu nilikuwa sasa nimetafuta nyumba, I was moving to niende ni stay further. And then nilikuwa nilikuwa nimetoka Bangu niende kubai, nikienda ingia vitu Kariobangi. Ndio Bangu in short.
Okay. Every day we learn.
So that time nikaenda huko, then nikamwambia after nimebai sasa, si hii kitu nilikuwa it was a television, nilikuwa nimebai second hand. So namwambia, juu nilikuwa nichukue niende kwa hii nyumba mpya na Amia uipeleka, and I don't want people to know that I'm different. Sasa niko na bra, nikamuuliza, I had to explain to her, hey, I'm an intersex person. Yeah, so but your time bado nilikuwa muoga. So I explained, akaniambia it's fine. It's fine. Enda huko, juu nilimwambia I want to remove the bra, niweke kwa hiyo box, then ndio nikienda place naenda waone tu kijana. Yeah. So nilitoa bra nikaweka kwa box, but sijui vile ilipotea, sijui ilibaki huko ama
ilipata mwenyewe. But and I have to ask, do you feel the struggle of fitting in? Like when you're invited, let's say at an event, do you first stand to study the crowd and be like, do I fit? Do you struggle to fit in crowds?
Yeah, I do struggle a lot.
Yeah.
Because first is education. I didn't get the opportunity to access education. Yeah. And then now I get the opportunity to attend some events. And then napata wameka hapo kwanza hapo kwa registration, female
or male.
Hawaja add
intersex.
So nowadays I'm vocal, nitauliza wewe mbona umeni-invite hapa na kuna hapa I? You need to add I there. Yeah. And every time I attend these events, sometimes nitaka peke yangu. maybe kama kuna mtu najua nitaenda kukaa mali yako, we talk, but kama kuna mtu najua sitaongea na mtu until nitoke. Yeah, I struggle with that a lot, and sometimes also na feel ile I don't belong here because people are talking English, and for me niko na English yangu mbili pia, but I can't talk a lot. I can't raise my issues because I feel like I don't fit in this space. Yeah. And that is the challenge that many intersex persons are facing, because most of us didn't get the privilege to access education.
Because of the stigma.
The stigma. Yeah. Na pia unapata the few who have accessed the education, they still have low self-esteem. Yeah. Kujiongea bado ni stress. Yeah. So at least for now we are trying. But we still have a long way to go. But yeah.
How did you build your self-confidence? Because I would assume this is not how you were, like, let's say 10 years ago. Even
not only 10 years ago, 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
So how did you build your confidence and more of self-acceptance? How did you accept yourself, which I would imagine eventually now builds your confidence?
Exposure.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell me more.
Because now unaona, you have something that is pushing you. And every time I think of an intersex child who's born today, who will go through, maybe they will go through what I went through, I have to talk for that child.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, I have to talk. Because if I keep quiet, well, I'm at 50. Yeah? Ndio watakuwa, au watu watakuwa wamefika at least youths. They will ask me, what did you do when you were here? Right? Itakuwa, what will I tell them? I was scared. Yeah? I
was shy.
I was shy that people will judge me. Then what will happen to them? Yeah? So that is something that pushes me. I must talk. I must be confident to access these spaces and raise my voice for young intersex persons, for other intersex persons who don't have the voices to talk.
I love how passionate you are thinking about those kids.
Yeah, because of what I went through. I can't allow anyone else to go through what I went through, because it was traumatic, and I can't wish like mtu yote apitie what I went through. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. You know, this podcast is called A Woman's Journal for a reason. It's people come here and they just verbally journal. Wanatoa kila kitu.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, is there a community for intersex people? Because they have been marginalized, they have been stereotyped. Like you've said, some people perceive them as cusses. Yeah. Is there a community to support these people and for them to feel like they still belong?
Yes, for now we have a community. We have a community. Few intersex persons have started organizations, including me. I have an organization. It's called Kiwi Rise Network. We create spaces for intersex persons to come together, talk, share their experience. You know, there's power in talking. Yeah. When you hear that, this person is going through this person is going through this. Yeah. So we have a community, and also we have other people who are helping us, like an organization like Kenya National Commission of Human Rights. They've played a big part in creating a community, in creating a space for intersex persons in Kenya. Yes.
Kwanza now, intersex is legally recognized.
Yes.
As a gender. How does that make you feel? Or what does this mean for the intersex community?
It feels good.
Yeah.
At least finally. But the question is, in the society, are we recognized? Yes. the policies are there beautifully. They are very beautiful on paper. Yeah. But for ground, we are still facing challenges to access healthcare, to access education, to get jobs. Yeah. So the policies are there. For now, intersex persons intersex children can be recognized. Kwa birth, they can, tunaweza add hapo intersex. Yeah. Kwa pia death certificate. Yes, we got the recognition. This was it last month. We got the recognition, and now we can be the I marker can included in birth and death certificates. But still, we still have a long way to go because we have Intersex Bill 2024. Yeah, we still don't know how it will go because we have Intersex Children's Act 2022 that included intersex children. It protects intersex children from intersex genital mutilation. Yes, but now after tumefika 18, what happens? Yeah. So we still have a long way to go. For community, we still need to do advocacy.
And create more awareness.
Yes.
Do you think 5 or 10 years from now, the society would have warmed up to this?
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Because, this is the country that still, let me mention this because we can't talk about intersex genital mutilation without mentioning female genital mutilation. It's still happening. Yeah, until now. So we still have a journey we need to walk. We have to. At least few people will be more aware about intersex persons and who is an intersex person. Yeah. So we just hope in 5 years, 10 years, tutakuwa tumefanya a lot hapa chini kwa ground because discrimination is gonna happen hapa chini. Yeah. So we still need to do a lot. Yeah.
Okay. What do you hope would change, through you sharing your story and again creating more awareness? What is something that you're hoping will change in our society? I know we need to take like 1,000 steps, but it starts one step at a time.
Yeah.
What are you hoping would be our first step as a society?
Inclusion. Yes. At least as a society, we need to include intersex persons. Tutoe ile thought these people are different. These people don't fit to here. So inclusion. And also what I want to see is a community, a society where an intersex person can walk to a hospital and access healthcare like any other person.
Right.
An intersex person can go to school and get education, be empowered like any other child. Yeah. Us accessing jobs. I can walk to your office and hata nikikupatia ID yangu uone female, you won't ask questions. Yeah, you'll just give me the job because yes, I'm also human. I need to pay my bills. I need to access healthcare services, education. I need,
Yeah, okay. Let me ask you an interesting question.
Yeah.
Earlier on, you're talking about how you wanted to be in a relationship, start a family. Is that a dream you still have or it's shelved at the moment?
I don't want kids.
Okay.
Yeah, because every time I think about a family, for me, it's not something that I can just start. Yeah, because maybe, and also if I want a child, it will mean I look for someone who can have my own child.
Like a surrogate.
Yes. And it will also, financially, am I ready? Yeah. Mentally, am I ready? Because I also have my own trauma. There were things that I faced while growing up, I'm still scared. If I get this child, will they grow in a very good
hostile environment?
Yes. I have my own fears. So until then, maybe in the future, I'll consider that. But for now, I prefer
To just focus on yourself.
Yes, to just focus on myself. Maybe if love finds me, well and good. If it doesn't, well and good.
And you're open to anything. Okay, yeah. Scratch
It's
that.
okay, it's fine.
I don't know how you've envisioned it, but yeah, I don't want to.
Okay, you could talk here. I'm fine.
Uliza ikutoke.
Uliza ikutoke. I'm fine.
I mean, do you have like a gender preference? I think that's what I was trying to ask. If it's not comfortable, you don't have to answer.
I love women.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. I want you to look at that camera because I'm thinking of that parent who, again, has come out of the labor ward. Like you said, expecting a boy or a girl, and boom, it's an intersex child. Having gone through what you've gone through, what advice do you have for that parent?
What advice do I have for that child, for that parent? What I'll tell that parent is, you're not alone. As a parent, you're not alone, and that child is not a curse. Treat that child like you could have treated the other child that you could have had, because huyo mtoto ni baraka, and that child, ayuko different. I always say our bodies are an expensive piece of art. So just love your child. They're not different. They're just unique. And love them. Give them access to education. Give them the love they need as a child. Do not raise a broken child. Usimpitishe mashida. Ni mtoto tu kama mwingine mwenye anataka tu pia yeye exist in this world, and you need to protect that child because you are the only person that child has in this life. So ukimtreat vibaya, what will other people do to that child? Yeah, so you need to protect that child. Thank you.
Ooh, I love that. Thank you so much, Andy. You're the best. And I look forward to the day where you will not 100%, have the confidence to just, fully accept who you are. But I commend you for even sharing your story because, like you said, 5 years from now, there's an intersex child who's going to be born. What point of reference do they have that they can look at Andy and say, you know what, he was here, he conquered, and all that. So thank you for allowing your story to be like, like something that people can look up to.
And what I always say, I was thinking the other day, we are in 80 years, 100 years from now, will be the ancestors. Then, but it's the reality.
It's the reality.
Yeah. What did you do
during your time?
Time.
True.
Yeah. We need to be, at least when intersex persons will be there, out there, enjoying the rights. Our ancestors fought for this right. They will shout it unapologetically. Yeah, our ancestors were here and they fought for these spaces. They fought for these rights that we are enjoying today. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much, Andy, for gracing my podcast.
Thank you.
Yes, and karibu nikuambia tu masalams, but TV. But also just to remind my viewer today that, remember earlier on I'd mentioned that we're going to be having 2 interviews. This is Andy, who was comfortable to show his face, but for my next guest, whom we're calling Aiden, not their real name, we are going to play that clip in just a moment. And I hope so far you're learning a thing or two. And I, again, look forward to the day where, as a community, as a society, like Andy has said, we treat them just like we would treat any other person, whether you're female, male, or intersex. We're all human beings. God loves us. Let's learn how to love these people. So let's have a look at this interview, and thanks. We're going to start with an introduction of who you are and what you do.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Grace. My name is Aiden from Kericho. Currently, I'm in Nairobi. Currently I'm jobless. I don't have anything to do. I stay with my friend, yeah.
Okay. Now let's go back to your childhood. At what point did you learn that you were intersex?
I was back in class 6, back in primary school. That's when I realized I'm so different from other kids. And I was so uncomfortable about it. So most of the time I used to spend time alone. I really hated myself. And most of the time I was just alone, wondering what's happening in my body. Yeah, because I had no one to talk to. So I was just uncomfortable. I was in primary school.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And did your mom ever talk to you about it? Did she notice anything different?
No, she didn't. My mom was most of the time was busy. So I didn't have time to, to talk to her or asking her anything about it, about my sex or anything about me being intersex. So I never talked to anyone about it. Yes.
When you said you felt like you're different from the other kids, what particular thing made you feel like you were different?
At that time it's at puberty. Most of the time, maybe girls are having their periods at class 7, class 6. For me, my mind delayed for so long because my first menstruation was back in Form 3, so it delayed so much. And then I used to have a deep voice. My voice was so deep from other girls. So I used to feel so uncomfortable about it. Yeah, I used to really hate myself. Yes.
There's something you were explaining to me earlier where you learned that there was something about your ovaries. Do you mind walking me through that again?
Yeah, I had an ovary which was not really fully developed, and also I had a testis which was inside my crotchet, like just below my belly, which was becoming too much. I was having too much pain. Yes, so I used to have so much belly cramps. Yes, and I consulted a doctor, and he recommended me to do an MRI test, or rather MRI scan is a scan. Yes, so I didn't even talk to my mother about the scan. So it took me so long to be open to my mom and let her know what I'm going through. Yes.
So when you did the scan, what did the doctor find?
The doctor found that I have an ovary which is not fully developed, and I have a testicle which is inside, and when the testicles are inside, they create more temperature. Rather, they are harmful when they are inside, because of the accumulation of the heat. So they were becoming too much painful, and when they are there for a long time, they can cause cancer. So he recommended me to do a surgery to get rid of it, of which I didn't have the finances to do it. So I never did it then, but the pain was, sometimes it was there, sometimes it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did that ever, scare you, because now you've been told there's something?
I'm so scared. Sometimes you are just there, you are just there, and the pain is just too much, but you don't have anything. You can't really do anything about it, because you might not have the ways of doing what might be needed for it to be done. And then there are the side effects. When you do the surgery, of course, there are side effects, because of the hormonal imbalance and stuff. Yeah, so I never, but the pain is not as too much as it was. Yeah.
Okay. At any point, did you take the route of taking any hormones, or you're just like...
No, I've never thought about taking hormones. I don't have the the right person, or rather the right channels to take me through the advantages of using the hormones as an intersex person, or anything to give my body strength, or to do anything to rupture my normal body functioning. Yeah.
What are some of the things you experienced as a child? Because I know, sometimes kids are innocent and they might probably make fun of it, not knowing it's hurting you. What are some of the experiences you had as a child?
Oh, I used to have, I grew some beard. So when kids used to look at me and they were like, hey, huyu anamea ndevu na ni msichana, you know, wanachocheana tu hapo, you just feel bad, you know, because pia wewe hujielewi, you don't know what's going on with your body. So I used to have some strands of beards just below my chin, and they were lowering my self-esteem. So I used to feel so uncomfortable. Most of the time I spent my childhood alone because I had no one to talk to, no one can understand. Even myself, personally, I didn't understand myself,
your mom
my
as
body.
well.
Yeah. So most of the time, I used to spend most of the time alone, you know, after lectures or after classes, I'm alone. Most of the time I used to be alone so that I avoid those irrelevant dramas with my fellow students. Yes.
What do you think most people misunderstand about people who are intersex?
Most people say it's a bad omen, it's a curse, it's something maybe your generation or other, you know, your relative did which caused you to be intersex. Wengine wanasema ni uchawi, wengine wanasema ni si kitu ya kawaida, you know. Most of the people term it as a taboo. It's a bad omen in the society. Si kitu ya kawaida kuonekana. They just discriminate intersex people, and most of them in some community they even killed intersex people at birth, just at birth. After, you know, there are different types condition of intersex. When yours is too much like sin at birth, most of them killed the intersex children. But I thank God I'm lucky I wasn't killed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy to have you here.
When
you say kuna different intersex, kumaanisha nini?
Or there are different intersex condition. Some have enlarged clitoris, and maybe they have some testes or rather of testes in their bodies, some hormonal. Of course, the gonads are the ones which produce the hormones. Yeah, some might have even the ovaries, and they have the penis, of which they might experience even the menstruation. Yet they might be seen as men. Yeah, they are different as far as what. Most of the people do have micropenis, or rather the micropenis in the labia, something that like look exactly like a vagina, but it's not like a normal vagina. It's maybe a labia, or rather a vaginal wall, and a small opening. You know, they are different. Everyone has his or her own different condition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Najua sasa umeongelea mambo ya menstrual. I know that's one of the things zenye imekuchallenge sana.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I experience so much pain in my stomach, like when I'm having those cramps, and also they are not regular. You can't even know when I'm having them because of the hormonal issues, and we experience so much pain, and also the discomfort because you can't use the normal sanitary pads that are in the market. Yeah, but we don't. There are some company or rather some NGOs which launched an inclusive fit product for which favors the intersex person, but also on the other hand, it's so expensive. Not all intersex can be able to purchase the product.
Any product inakaje?
It's like a boxer which is coated with like. It's a reusable. It's like a reusable undies, or rather a panty. Yeah, which prevents the menstruals, or rather the blood from rinking.
Yeah, leaking. Yeah. So maybe do you feel like some of the sanitary towel companies have not considered intersex people?
Yeah, most of them actually. All of them have. I have never seen a normal pad which can favor, or rather can fit the intersex genitals, or rather which can favor intersex person who experience menstrual cycle. Yeah.
So if somebody is watching you today and they probably want to venture into that, what would you want them to consider?
I want them to consider coming up with a product that can fit the intersex person, and also they have at least a friendly price, which everyone can afford, regardless, and also access regardless of where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at our sanitary towels, most of the time they're like, depending on which.
Most of the time are designed for the female. Let me say female or the women genitals.
So you'd want them to be bigger, wider, longer?
As I said, everyone has his or her own condition as an intersex. So if anyone is willing to venture into that, you can consider maybe calling them in a committee, and everyone can design of what they want.
Makes sense. Yeah. Now let's talk about the impact this has on your mental health, because now you're starting with, as a child, you've struggled with your self-esteem. It also eats into your confidence. How has all this affected your mental health?
It has affected me too much, as I said earlier. Just back in primary school, just when I was too small, when I was still small, at the age of 12, 13, it has affected too much, because even relating with other people, it is a problem to me, because I'm not even comfortable with my who I am. I'm not okay with the person I am, or rather relating to other people. It has affected me so much, because even the family, sometimes we don't even talk with my family, because even them, they might not understand. So I just walked out from home and come here in Nairobi to just improve my mental health, or rather be comfortable with who I am. Yes.
And are you feeling better now?
I'm not yet there, but I hope soon I will be there.
Yeah.
How
do you, how do I put this? How do you wish people would show support, not just to you, but also other intersex people?
I think people should understand there is difference between the LGBTQ community and the intersex, because intersex is biological. I never chose to be one. I was just born as an intersex. So people need to differentiate between the LGBTQ community and the intersex, because intersex is just like any other sex, like if male, female. Yes, so they just be considerate, and they support the intersex people. Whenever they meet an intersex person, they let them treat them with all the dignity and respect they deserve, because they are humans just like any other.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about things not to say. Because there are people, I think I was telling you this earlier, mtu anaweza sema kitu innocently, it may seem insensitive, but ni venye wao hawajui. So what are some of the things that we should not say to someone who's intersex, or names not to call them, maybe questions not to ask? What areas shouldn't we go?
When you come to names, people don't know the difference between a transgender person and an intersex person. So people might call you semenya, those names in there is different names used in different communities to refer to intersex person, which kind of dehumanize or rather put them into a state whereby they just been seen like as nobodies, as just wanaonekana ni kama si watu, they are just creatures, ni kama tu ni wanyama, wanaitwa tu majina inakaa vibaya just by the name. It's kind of discriminatory to intersex person.
And what shouldn't we say to intersex people?
You should not consider them as bad omen. You should just appreciate them as who they are. Don't really consider about their sex. Just consider, what can I do? What can this person do? Yes, he is intersex, but they are capable of doing so many things apart from, just seeing them as intersex persons.
Yeah. This is going to be a hard question. Do you have moments where you wish you were born different?
As I said, I'm just learning to accept myself as who I am, or rather who I was born as. So I don't want to wish, because it can't happen. I can't be a male or rather be a female. Even if I do, how many surgeries I can do, that can't change me the fact that I was born as an intersex person. Nothing can change. So I'm hoping and praying to God that one day I will fully accept myself and come out as an intersex person who is bold and strong enough.
Okay, yeah. That's nice. Ukiangalia maisha yako, all the things that you've experienced, maybe the stigmatization, the insults, the name calling, maybe kuangaliwa vibaya. What would you want to change if you ever get to a point where you're given power to either advocate for policies, or what are some of the changes you'd want to see in the society?
Most of them have already been done because the government recently implemented the Children's Act, where if today an intersex person is born, will be identified as an intersex. So when you are just growing up, you just know just from start you are an intersex. So there are also in maybe schools you can when you just talked about policy, I can maybe in school, if I'm an intersex person and I have that self-realization, I can maybe dress in whichever uniform I want. I can change maybe if I can change where intersex, where most school, because most of the discrimination happen, let me not say in the local communities, but also in town. In Nairobi, sometimes I hear most of the stories of intersex who are discriminated in school, in boarding school. For instance, maybe have joined a girls' school, and maybe they have seen some changes which are not normal or other usual to girls. So they kind of they have chased away from school. So I can say that I can change that and have that inclusion in intersex person. Where can they go to school? How can they get employed? Where can they go and have those technical skills and so many more.
That's nice. Do you think that it's something that also the syllabus needs to accommodate, so that students are also taught about it? Because I think in biology there's the part we'll learn about the reproductive health, both male, female. Do you think that maybe the syllabus should also include the intersex aspect, just for awareness?
Yeah, I can say they should include the intersex and let it be learnt in a broader way, because we learnt about that, but we call it hermaphrodites, which is not a good name to refer to an intersex person. So they can broaden it up, or rather they can add more information about intersex, but they are doing it. Nowadays there are some books that I read that have a broader explanation of who is an intersex. They are doing I can see it's a progress. Every day and every other time, we are making progress in Kenya as intersex people, and having those things implemented in schools, the government policy. Soon we will get there.
Okay. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, even as we wrap this up?
In 5 years, I would see myself having fully accepted myself, having maybe a good job. I would like to go to school, then maybe join a college or university and pursue a degree in journalism. So if God can allow me to do that and go back to school and learn, so that I can advocate for the right of the intersex person in the media spaces and everywhere, I will create more impact on intersex person out there. Yes.
I love that. One last question. I remember when you spoke about surgery, you said inahitaji pesa mingi. If today money was not a problem, would you consider the surgery?
As I said, it's a progress. I should consider, first of all, going for therapy and learn. And also, there are questions that I should consider asking a gyna or other urologist, whichever doctor might be there available for me. So I should consider, knowing what are the impact, how will it affect me, after 10 years after the surgery, if I want to do it, of which I'm not sure about it. I don't have even the how changes will be there after doing the surgery of getting rid of that and what of that testis, which is disturbing me because of the cervical cancer. So not cervical, but testicular cancer. So I just consider all those impact which they have in my body. I just have a lot of questions, of which I I don't have the right person, or rather I don't have the right linkages of a gynecologist, or rather a doctor who can walk me through and discuss about it with the doctor. So let me not say I will do the surgery or I will not. First of all, I will consider talking to a doctor. Yeah.
Okay. As an intersex person, do you ever worry about being in a relationship? Is it something that crosses your mind?
First of all, I'm not comfortable with my body right now. So having been in a relationship with someone and yet I'm not comfortable with my body is a challenge to me. So I've never thought about it. Well, maybe I will, but for now, let me just have that self-acceptance in me.
You first focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. And I wish you all the very best. And thank you so much for sharing your story. Like I said, I think we need to create more awareness around it because intersex people are human beings. I like what you said. Let's not look at them as creatures. They're human beings. They're part of our society. And I would want us to create more awareness so that we can learn how to also love on you guys, support you.
Sure.
So I was asking what not to say, the ignorant things, the insensitive things.
Yes.
So I appreciate you for sharing your story.
Thank you so much for having me.